No,
And that's hysteria.
hysterical.
Anyway,
Yes.
yeah. I was coming out of the ladies' room. No, that's
That's right.
that was not true. I made that up. Anyway, yeah, we were on this cruise. She was with her mother. I was with a tour group there on this cruise ship. And
You had met some friends from California.
thank you. Were you there?
Whose name was Ross.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he was sick. I know, he was a nice guy. But anyway, we both like to dance, and that's what happened. We
Oh,
met on that dance floor. And,
okay. But now, there was some kind of excursion.
Your train story.
There was
Your train
something
story.
where you all were going in a bus or a van or something.
His train story.
Train
that is not
story.
true, but it's his train story.
Oh.
I don't tell them.
No.
You
I don't
remember me
know.
asking to sit by you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they want to hear.
Oh.
Now, true story, guys. Come on.
Do you mind if I was sitting in this place, and she walks through there, and she said, "Do you mind if I sit there?" And I said, "No, go ahead." Yeah. So we shot the breeze for a while there, and I don't think I got a word in, actually.
But
You said you talk funny.
you talk funny, and then
said
maybe
you-
you
I
said,
don't like to bring that up.
And you said
like
you
I'm
talk
there.
funny.
Like I'm trying to navigate
Go
this.
ahead, go ahead, you're doing good.
But you had mentioned, well, you talk funny,
Yes.
and maybe did you say that back to him?
She said, I talk funny
You
too.
talk funny too.
Which was
Being
not
from
true.
Boston.
And that's the story. And then tell them what happened, what you said, Nanny said to you at the end of the cruise.
Oh, yeah. What are your intentions?
Oh,
Here I am, 72 years old, and this lady said, "What are your intentions toward my daughter?" I was going to tell her, and I said, "No, I'm going to be very nice." But anyway, no, it worked out very well. For 2 years, I came over to
yep.
Fayetteville.
From Reno.
Is that all? It seemed
Yeah,
like more.
2 years.
did.
Every what, once a
Every
month.
month, every month.
Yeah,
For a week.
yeah.
And you'd stay in the hotel.
Stayed at a hotel
Oh yes. Yep,
Yep.
to get to know the family.
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
I had a chance to back out several times.
And went to the Florida vacations and had your own condo. And
She knows more about it. Was she there? She must have been there.
Made shirts for everyone that first year.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Stacy and
Yeah.
Station.
We were looking at that
Stacia and her
Station.
husband and two
Yep.
kids were with us.
And the
They
jellyfish.
made shirts for all
Mimi,
of us.
JC and I were looking at that
Second
picture when we were staying
Yeah.
at your house.
Yeah.
We were looking at the picture when Stacia and them were there, and all of us looked so little.
Little. Y'all were so little.
You were.
Yeah.
And,
Mom, I-
and Julie and Emma interrogated you.
Oh, yeah.
But Mimi and Ed,
surprised.
what was it? Because Mimi, you were, if I recall correctly, I may be wrong, you were not feeling very well leading up to that cruise.
Really? I don't
With-
remember.
Oh yeah,
You were
and
sick,
Nan.
yeah.
You were sick,
Yeah.
and you had misplaced shoes, like one of this and one of that, and no jewelry.
Wow.
So what was it? What
Okay.
was it when you all met? What was the spark?
I think they felt sorry for us. I think Mother
That's
and
what you said.
I
You
always
said that.
no. Mother and I truly. I was so sick the day we left that Nanny had to drive. I had planned to go to Fort Smith and pick her up to go.
Wow.
Mother had wanted to do this for so long, and it was a really complicated trip because it was like land and ship, and you had to take bags for certain points and smaller bags for other points, and I mean it was just a lot of organization, and I was not used to that, and I had looked at that sheet so many times it was like crumbled, trying to figure out, make sure everything was in place. I was supposed to go to Fort Smith and pick Nanny up and then go to Tulsa and spend the night to catch a plane. I was so sick that day. Libby, you remember you ordered medicine for me. I couldn't get off the couch. my bag was laid out on the bed in there in the bedroom, and I would go and put something in it, and I'd go back to the couch. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm just so sick. And finally, I called Nanny late that afternoon, and I said, Mom, I think I bet, she said, well, let me drive up there, and we'll go from there. And I said, okay. So we
Mom,
went.
how old was Nanny at the time?
Well,
She was old.
yes, I'm trying to think. She was my age. She was where I am now.
She was
Yeah.
82?
She was about 81 or 82.
Okay.
And she was still very with it.
Yep.
In fact, we took a helicopter to the topmost peak in Alaska, got out. We were just dressed in all of these clothing, got out and walked on
The glacier.
Wow.
It was on the good.
Yeah, I mean, Mom was
Were
in
you
that
there,
good of
Ed?
shape. No, he didn't go on that.
At 81 or 82? That's
She was
right.
in that good a shape, and she had just dreamed of that. She had wanted to do that helicopter up to the
Oh,
glacier.
wow, okay.
So we did
So
that.
that was the reason for the trip.
Yeah,
Nanny
yeah.
was.
She really wanted to go, and Mel said, "If you will take her, Mel, if you will take her, I will pay for it."
What a nice guy.
And so, anyway, we went, and anyway, so she drove up. We drove to Tulsa,
Yeah.
Oh.
and the next morning, as we went to get in the car to go to the airport, I had locked the keys in the car. So that's how badly I felt.
Yeah.
And someone had to open the car to get our keys, and finally we get to the airport.
At the hotel.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
And so I look, I get on the plane and I look, and I just look down, I think, I had no jewelry. I had nothing, I mean, it was just like I just did good to get there. And so, and we always, I mean, if you could have seen this, we always
it.
carried,
I saw her.
we always carried a bag of devotional books. I mean, we had all of our
Heavy. Heavy.
devotional books that I would carry over my shoulder. So I had all these devotional books trying to help Nanny, trying to get everything, and I was not good at all this planning. I mean, I had never done all this before, so I was very, so anyway, we get there, and the next day, I guess it was the next day, we get on, yeah, because I remember us walking down the street that night. We get the next day and we go and we take a train trip across, beautiful train trip across. And it was Mother and I, and we were sitting up in a front coach with I'll never forget this, with a couple from New York. And we ate breakfast with them. You eat breakfast on the train, and all they did was complain with each other.
Oh.
Nothing
wow.
went right. They weren't happy. Da 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 da. And I thought, oh my gosh. And so they had announced that there were places in other parts of the train you could sit if you wanted to. So Mother and I moved back in another coach. But when we moved back in another coach, Mother and I were sitting there, and across the aisle from us were these people. We had no idea. Ed and Jeff were sitting across from each other, and Linda was right here on the outside. It was this couple, their names were Ross, Jeff and Linda Ross from California. Ed had kind of connected with them because the night before, you all had gotten bags mixed up
Yeah.
in the hotel, and so they had met through exchanging bags. So they were sitting together.
And keep in mind, this was 18 years ago?
Yeah.
And
Close to
so-
20 years ago, right?
Uh-huh. And so
Yeah.
My age.
Ed never said a
Yeah.
word. He looked out the window. Jeff did too. Linda was sitting there, and she's a friendly. So anyway, and Mother and I were ordering little special coffees and enjoying our time and looking at the and as we did, and so we start visiting with Linda, and as we start to get off of the train, we're in a. It's a really neat thing. If you ever take a trip, you need to land. But we were in this place that it was a real rustic area, and we went in. They were having a big barbecue that night. We were in cabins, really neat. And as we got off, Linda said, well, we met Ed Ross and said he is by himself. And she said, we're not going to eat. We're not going to do the barbecue this night. And we said, well, we're going to. And she said, well, I think he's planning to by himself. And Mother looked at me and she said, do we want to invite him to go with us? I said, no. No. At that point, I didn't ever want to meet anyone again. And I said, no. So we go into our cabin, we get ready, we go to the barbecue, and as we come out, Ed hadn't told you this. He's standing by the door.
I've not heard this part.
No.
Ed,
I never heard this.
Ed,
He's standing by the door, and he introduces himself.
really?
And we said, well, nice to meet you. We saw you on the train, da 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 da. And we talked about what the next morning. Well, the next morning, it just, I started out with coffee in this coffee shop, and then you were
Did
doing a
anything
bus
happen at the
trip.
barbecue?
No, we were different. We were at different places and all. But then he was waiting for us when we came out to introduce himself.
Okay.
And then the next morning we were on a bus trip somewhere. But before we went, you
Was I
kind
there? Was I there?
of you were there. We kind of all met in this coffee shop, and it kind of just started where Mother and I were by ourselves. We had this huge devotional book stuff with us. I had this little crumpled sheet that I had looked at so many times about what we were to do, which bags we were to pack for that day, what buses we were to take, what da-da-da-da. And I'd pull out my sheet and look. And they just kind of took pity on us. They would kind of, Jeff and Ed would pick up one of our bags, or they would help us know which place to go and what to do. And we kind of ended up that we were just a kind of a group. And they were really neat. They came to our wedding.
I remember.
I do remember.
Really nice people. And so when we got ready to get on the ship, then we just said, hey, let's just see if we can change our arrangements and all sit at a table together. And we said, okay, because it was just, we were friends and it
Yeah.
was fun, and they were helping us, and so that worked out.
Was I there?
You did. In fact, you and Jeff got us the table together. That's right. And it just kind of proceeded. Ed and I love to dance. We danced a lot.
I've seen, and Ed was wearing a tux, and
He was very.
Well, it was so fun because
Great.
when you came back,
Yeah.
you said, I just want to show you some pictures from the ship.
I know, we're like,
From the trip, and we're like, okay, thinking we're going to be going through the, photo way.
Lots of scenery shots.
No,
but
no, no.
not
These
so
were
much.
like
Right,
the 8 by 10, Ed and Mimi and Mimi. It was so
Did you have
fun.
some of those, like they take the photos of you everywhere you go on the boat?
Yeah,
You
there,
guys
there
have some
were
together?
They did.
several
Yeah.
out, all different on the
Yeah.
steps and on, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a very
We had a good time.
obviously a meaningful
So
trip.
we came back, and Ed called me, and he said, I'd like to come the next 3 months. This was in September. I'd like to come the next 3 months, and I'd like to spend New Year's with you. And I said, oh, wait a minute. I said,
what year was this?
1942.
2000.
1942.
So,
And I said,
7.
yeah, y'all were little.
How was that?
we had survived the meltdown.
Okay.
Yes,
Right.
I forgive him.
Tony and I were prepared.
We
No one else
That
was.
was
Bad.
1999.
Very disappointed.
I just remember
Waiting at Charleston's, and we met when Mimi was in it, and we were, and y'all were like giddy. You were like giddy in love. I mean, it was just so clear.
Is that where we met?
We were at Charleston's, South Charleston's.
I thought we met in Fayetteville at the country club.
Over
When we met,
in the
yeah.
apartments.
We may have met there, but when you all came to Tulsa,
It was
Oh,
Ed and Pat.
okay,
It was
but-
Ed and Pat's
you guys
birthday.
were just
Right.
giddy.
You remember Ed and Pat's birthday?
Yeah,
We
at
met
the
there at
country
their
club.
clubhouse.
Yeah,
Their clubhouse.
that's where I remember
where-
being there.
But anyway, we get back, and I said, well, you've just got to know something. I said, you're welcome, but New Year's is our Christmas, our family Christmas. And I said, I'm going to be with all my kids. And I said, you know, if you want to join us, that's okay, but that's where I'm going to be. And they said, yeah, I'd like to. And so then later,
Did you whisper?
Right there.
yes, it was out there. Later, a friend of mine called me, Joanne
It's
Woody.
maybe wanting to regret.
Joanne Woody called me that I talked with. She said, Princess, I'm really worried about this. And I said, what are you worried about? And she said, I'm just worried about this relationship. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, I think he's after your money. And I said,
Mom's mad.
Joanne, I said, we're teachers. You and I have no money. And she said, I know that, but she said, when you go on a trip, you dress a little nicer, you have nicer
No,
things.
that's funny. I never
And I
knew that.
said,
You had to know Joanne Woody.
I said, Joanne, I had no jewelry.
And you were sick.
I looked down, I was sick, and I looked down and I had
And
one
the shoes
blue.
didn't match.
I had one blue shoe and one black shoe.
Oh, no.
I said, no, he wasn't after my money. I said,
I was after her shoes.
but we've been very blessed.
she was
Yes,
trending.
blessed
have.
with you as our family.
So total, how many years?
Well, it would be-
18.
It'd be 18 total.
16 married.
16.
And we had to be blessed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the blessing has been with our family, and Ed and I talk of this
Yeah,
all the
that's right.
time.
That's
It's totally, he said, Princess, I've been here since all those kids were little.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
said,
that's
"Yeah,
right.
you have."
Tiny
And
kids.
he said,
That's right.
He was just a
Julie and
little.
Emma just hounded me until I asked you to marry me. You
It's
remember?
funny because like we're not different. We wouldn't do that now.
Yeah, your
Yeah, I
personality
remember-
already said.
I remember I was standing there. I was standing there just watching.
I'll never forget. We were in Navarre, and it was an interesting time that just the adult children and spouses were down at the beach.
Yep, I remember
And
that.
Ed, I don't know if Mimi said, don't come down here or stay where you were, whatever. But Mimi came down and she started talking. Okay,
I remember that.
Ed and I are
Yeah, I
either
got it.
needing
Yeah.
to take a next
Yeah.
step forward
Right.
or not.
Yeah.
And so we had that discussion.
Yeah, I remember that like
I
yesterday.
do too.
Then she also asked us,
Ed,
do you feel good about it? Are you okay?
Thank you so much.
I'm not speaking for the rest of the
I'll never forget that.
Hey Ed, Mimi asked us if we were okay with this.
She wanted it
Very,
really
very
sad.
nice.
Yeah.
She said,
It's all right.
would you go, what do you think? What do you
I've
think
never
about it?
forgotten that.
There, yes.
My kids had to be
Gave a
with
thumbs
me.
up.
I
Yeah,
remind you every year.
Absolutely.
My kids
Absolutely.
needed to be with me, and they were. And it's been
That
such a
was
great,
Well,
great.
Ed, you've enriched our lives.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yes, absolutely.
Very much. Very much.
Who was he with? Was he with you?
Oh no.
Very much.
Yeah, and you were there when you did it.
You've enriched our lives, buddy.
No, seriously, though, seriously. I never regret what I did. And the family is wonderful, really. Nice people. And I tell other people this too, because where I come from, they don't have this sort of thing. They don't have families, and they don't even talk to each other sometimes. But down here, they're very real, and they're willing to help you. Some we can't help. We can't, you know. But anyway, seriously though, I love it all.
Ed tells me every day how blessed we are and how thankful he is for our family and what it means to him.
And I say to her, "How did this happen?" You know. I have to listen to this
It's a
story.
blessing. We tell that story every time.
That's right.
Well,
that's a great story. Thank you.
That needs to be a Hallmark movie. I mean, one of the Hallmark. That's the true story. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Such a great story.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing. He's loved each of you as I have, and that says a whole lot.
And we're so grateful for you.
Yep.
And
Yes.
you know, that wasn't that trip. That was to Australia and New Zealand. That Fiji.
No, you've shown Mom the
We have
world.
just had tremendous,
Well, I'm still ready to go.
experiences.
I know you are. I know you are.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
you probably know, I spent 23 years in the Navy and covered a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still places I want to go and I haven't.
Wow.
Where do you still want to go? Ed?
Yeah.
Where
do you want to go?
What's next on your bucket list?
I don't know. We like the Caribbean, but once you've been there, you're all the
Hey,
same.
I said bless you.
But we like New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah.
Where have you
Well, you've been there
Those are
several
hard
times.
trips. Those are hard trips.
Yeah.
Travel right now is hard.
Yeah.
And we just.
Yeah.
you
Well, but
know.
you've seen the world, and Ed, thank you for that gift.
Yeah, and Ed
to my
has
mom.
blessed me with that because I had
Absolutely.
not been anywhere.
That's a
And we
gift,
have had
man.
tremendous.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. Just
Now
how
you
blessed
don't
we
want to hear the trips, right? You'll be here till,
That
you'll
would
be here
take
till
us.
tomorrow.
That would take us.
know,
But
yeah.
We got time.
Ed, where do you still want to go?
Right now, I want to go to bed. But,
That's not very far.
You know, we can make that happen. You know, we're pretty happy.
You don't even
We're
like
very
that.
blessed, and we're pretty happy.
like she said, travel's not that easy anymore.
No.
Well, thank you for coming to Tulsa tonight.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Absolutely. Maybe Ed,
Here you
there's
go.
just a couple little things, little love
Go
gifts.
open them.
That was not our night. This is Dipper's night.
No, it's Emma's.
I'm
It's
sorry,
Emma's
y'all
day
have-
Oh,
today.
it's your night.
Well, I don't
Emma,
think
Emma and Christy Adams tonight.
That's
today.
right, Christy.
Christy Adams?
Yep. Oh my gosh, look here, getting us ready for Christmas.
Just smell the top of it. Smell the top of it. The very top.
Oh my gosh, smell it. Ooh, how good our home will smell. Christmas,
you
guys.
know how it works. Pass it around.
Get that Christmas on.
Christmas.
Do it, baby.
Oh my gosh. Is it that close?
No, I don't know. It's not. It's still a birthday
It's close.
But it's
But we're gonna celebrate this first.
One day at a
and
time.
maybe there's another card in here. Maybe there's something else in here.
Your wish today of happiness to joyfully recall the blessings of
Oh, I'm sorry, here.
love and
I'll
God's
pass this to my
spirit.
dad.
Will you read that?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I think that's what that is.
Attention, please.
Lisa, are you gonna read all
This is a card from home. Okay. Mimi and Edward, the happiest of wishes for both of you on this special 16th anniversary. We love watching you two share life together and with all of us. God's blessing for you. Love, Tony, Kelly, and JC. Tony, Kelly, and JC. They're here somewhere.
There they
Okay.
are.
Happy anniversary, Mimi and Ed. I have cared so much from your marriage. We are so moved to have you as the head of our family. I can't believe it's already been 16 years. We love you. Julie and Caleb.
Wow.
Oh, thank you
Thank
guys.
you, Kayla.
See what you-
Those are beautiful
Thank you
words.
guys.
Mimi and Ed are the example for a fun active marriage. We love you all so much and are thankful for the example you set for us. May we continue forward to bless you in the days and years ahead. We love you. The Fayetteville Gibsons.
Wow. Whoa. Good words, Libby.
Yes.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, Mimi and Ed. We love you all and are blessed to have you two in our lives, and many, many more. Who's that?
Kelly.
Libby?
Kelly Gibson.
Kelly?
Kelly.
She
We were
spelled
the
it.
blessing. We were the
She spelled
blessing.
it that.
Kelly. Kelly.
Okay. The Lord's loving kindness indeed never cease. They are new every morning. Mimi and Ed, happy anniversary. Thank you so much for welcoming me of every family gathering. I hope you and Ed have more wonderful years together. I agree with
Oh, Emily.
That was good. Gage.
I agree with Emily.
He agreed.
Are you Emily?
I agree with her.
I agree.
You
I
quoted
agree.
scripture?
No,
Wish the day of happiness to joyfully recall the blessings of your life you love, God's care overall. Mom and Dad, happy anniversary number 16.
That was cool,
What a
man.
blessing that lasting has turned out to be.
Thank you for
That's
Thank you for doing that.
for
We
welcoming
love you all.
us.
It's a blessing.
I agree with
That
you.
is precious. Wait a minute, I want to figure out this with Emily and Gage. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much for
I thought
welcoming
they
me
quoted scripture.
at every family gathering. I hope that
I think
you and Ed have many wonderful years together. Emily. And Gage says, I agree with Emily.
That was heartfelt.
No, Mom.
Open our card. This is,
Wait.
Wait. So,
open our card.
Ed, 1 year, I think it was like a birthday card. Mimi filled out like
This
the
is true right
whole
here.
card.
Yeah.
And then right at the bottom, Ed put, I agree with what she said.
That would be.
That's what I did.
Touche. Back at you.
Well, I know you can't read and write. Okay.
I can.
Gage, those were 4 really powerful words.
I agree with
What
Emily.
is this?
It's got me very far.
Ed, look.
What it says is you better agree with it.
Yeah.
What is this, guys?
That's a ristorante.
But a gift card for.
Via
Where is this?
Petro. Where is that? Ristorante. 17 East Center. ASL.
It's that.
It's off the square.
It's off the square. It's a real nice Italian restaurant.
Ooh.
Really nice.
It's
Ooh.
going, it's
Never heard
going
of it.
toward the square from 71. It's going toward the square. It's on the left. It's you guys like
Yes.
you like Boca, but this is
Thank you so much.
Gosh,
Thank you, guys.
We've never been there.
All right, here's.
Oh my God, thank you all. Oh my goodness gracious.
Here's another one.
This was not our night,
Read
guys.
this, will you?
I don't have my glasses, but
She hasn't got any glasses. Some couples make the world better just by being in it. Some couples light up a room just by walking in the door. Some couples brighten our lives year after year. Holy mackerel, look at that. Happy anniversary, Mimi and Ed. Happy 16th. Right? Right. 5,840 days of love. We are so. Who did that?
You always used
I
to,
know he
every
does.
time we would
Awesome,
sing,
I
you
love
would know
that.
how many days.
Yes,
We are
yes.
so grateful to have
He
you
still
guys.
does that.
How many? How many days?
So how many?
5,840. You want to do a quick math?
No, I've already tried.
She's
I
already
haven't
done that.
May you have many more happy and healthy years ahead. The Lord bless you and keep you. I love you to the moon back. Happy anniversary, Mimi and Ed. I love you too, as if there was only one to love.
Oh,
Very good.
That was Gage.
Oh,
I love.
spelled
Happy
that for you?
anniversary to both of you. I love you as if there was only one to love.
and you know who said that?
Yeah, I do, Nanny.
Yeah.
Nanny.
Happy anniversary, Mom and Ed. Words aren't sufficient to express my gratitude to God that you have one another and that your family has you.
Oh,
Blessed, happy anniversary, love, Gip.
oh.
Thank you much. Very nice. Happy anniversary, Mimi and Ed. I love you, Gracie.
Oh.
You're one of those couples, and today is one of those times when you need to be reminded again what a blessing you are and how much you are loved. Happy anniversary, Ed and Mimi. I love you both so much. Emily, thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you all.
Overachiever.
Totally unexpected.
Very good.
Well,
Happy